boy, you ready to do this? Here we go. Hello, Lethal Nation. Welcome to another installment in our Lethal Life series. And what are we talking about today, Wayne? We are talking about the youth archers in our lives, like my man, Lethal Wayne Gast, right here. Now, folks, one thing I want to go over with you, I have a good bit of experience with my own kids with this, and I want to give you a quick rundown of what we do to kind of get the little ones started in archery and some different things that we work on with them. But one main topic I want to touch on that I'm going to get to at the end, and that is eye dominance. So let's get started. The first thing we usually do with the kids when they're 2 to 3 years old, we have a ton of bows laying around here, a bunch of old arrows. And at first, we're just giving them the equipment, making sure they can pull it back, letting them shoot all different kinds of archery equipment, whether it's a compound or traditional type archery. And we're using all different length arrows. Like I said, mainly it's just stuff that we have laying around the house. But this is just kind of teaching them the fundamentals of archery. We're keeping their feet nice and square, but mainly we're letting them have a good time and teaching them safe practices with their archery equipment. Now, as they get a little bit older, they start wanting to hit the target a little bit more and start getting a feel for things like draw length and poundage. And that's the big things that everyone talks about when they get a youth archer set up. Is the poundage correct and is the draw length correct, and getting a piece of equipment that'll grow with the child. Well, one thing that I think gets overlooked, and this kind of hits home for me because when I was young, I was right-handed and I'd take a gun, put it on my right-hand side, and it wasn't until I was using a gun with a scope on it that someone realized that I was actually leaning over the gun and using my left eye. So at that point, switched the gun to the right hand, switched my archery equipment, to the left hand, switched from the right hand to the left hand, the same way with my archery equipment. So I'm a right-handed person, right with my right hand, but I shoot left-handed because I am left eye dominant. Now, my daughter, she's the same way, and when she was small, she was right-handed, she was shooting a right-handed bow, and it wasn't till the point that we figured out that she was left eye dominant that we kind of switched everything over with her. So you're thinking to yourself, well, Wayne, I have a very small child, how do I tell what their dominant eye is? And this is a big thing for people because if you have an adult, you can tell the person to point at something, focus on it with both eyes open, and then close each eye by itself. And with one of those eyes, their finger is going to move more off of that object. It's a basic eye dominance test. Well, how do you take a 4-year-old like Lane here and teach him or show him how to do an eye dominance test? It's not going to happen. You're going to have him point at something, you're going to cover his eyes, and he's going to tell you it's moving all over the place because he has no clue what you're asking him to do. Which brings in, how do you check the eye dominance on a toddler? And this is the main topic for our video because it is something that is very overlooked when setting up a youth archer. So you take paper towel tube just like this, a scope will work, a monocular will work, anything like that will work, and you hand it to the child. Hey buddy, you're up. Stand up on that target right there. All right, now Lane's going to take this tube and we're going to say, Lane, look through this tube at the camera. Bam, right there, Lane immediately went to his left eye. Lane is left-handed, Lane is left eye dominant. This works 99% of the time. If I give it to him again, even in that hand, look where it went, folks. Right to that left eye. So if you're looking to figure out on a very small archer, a 4-year-old, like my man Lane here, what his dominant eye is versus doing a dominant eye test and telling him to point at something and asking him about moving and things like that, 99% of the time, that's not going to work. But this is, one more time, buddy, check out the camera. Biggity bam, and there you go. Lane is left-handed, left eye dominant. Now we're concentrating on getting his draw lane set correctly, his poundage set correctly, teaching him more fundamentals of archery, and also having that bow in his left hand where it belongs. Till next time, this is Wayne with Lethal Injection Outdoors. You ready to go in the woods and set up some tree stands? So tell them what we do, buddy.
Get lethal.
Bam!